morning, and thank you for joining us on this June 7th edition of WEX Wakeup. I'm Natasha Sweet. Trump is doing what he can to make up for lost time in court. Our Mabinty Quarshie covers his first stop on the campaign trail.
This is Donald Trump's first stop in Arizona since he was found guilty of 34 counts of falsifying business records.
I just went through a rigged trial in New York with a highly conflicted, and I mean highly conflicted, judge, where there was no crime. It was made up, fabricated stuff. They didn't want to bring the case. They could have brought the case 7 years ago. It's only when you run for office they bring cases. But they would have done that 7 years ago, not in the middle of my presidential campaign, where we're beating Biden, by the way, by a lot. Did you see?
He held a town hall with Turning Point CEO Charlie Kirk in Arizona, but even before he spoke, Democrats began taunting him with English and Spanish billboards where they called him a convicted felon. After his speech, Donald Trump held a Q&A with attendees. This comes after he raised nearly $53 million after being found guilty. I'm Mabinty Quarshie here with the Washington Examiner.
In a rare media interview, President Joe Biden pledges he will not pardon his son Hunter and will respect the trial verdict. The first son faces a federal gun crime trial in Delaware. During an interview in Normandy, France, celebrating the 80th anniversary of D-Day, Biden gave a one-word response when asked if he would use his authority in the two federal cases against his son.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
Hunter is on trial on charges he lied on paperwork to obtain a firearm. He's being accused of illegally carrying the weapon despite being addicted to drugs. He's also been indicted in California on 9 additional tax-related counts. Those proceedings are expected to begin in September. Homelessness continues to plague the country, but one organization wants to reduce the number of veterans on the streets.
Serve those who have served us and make sure that they are housed with not just temporary shelter, but permanent supportive housing.
The latest numbers reveal some 650,000 people in the U.S. are homeless. More than 36,000 of them are reportedly veterans. Volunteers of America are transforming shipping containers into tiny homes for our nation's heroes. Lee Goldstein, Director of Strategic Initiatives for Volunteers of America, says he's personally affected by this opportunity. His grandfather was moved out of his Boston neighborhood through a process called urban renewal after fighting in the Second World War on D-Day.
Just really a privilege and an honor to be able to provide this housing solution for veterans, and for me personally, connecting it back to my grandfather and all those other vets who fought for us and sacrificed their lives for this country.
The Tiny Homes Initiative will kick off in the cities of Durham, Minneapolis, and Los Angeles. Models will be on display this weekend here in Washington, D.C. at the National Mall. And thank you so much for joining us on this edition of WEX Wake Up. Be sure to check out our website for more stories, and of course give us a follow on social media so you stay in the know and all that's trending in politics. Have a great weekend.